All right, let me just kind of redo this. Not gonna. I'll just delete this. That's kind of what I. Well, no, I'm not gonna delete it. Stand by. I'm not even gonna mess with anything. This is just kind of a way briefer explanation. Now that I saw what space did after hours, that's pretty crazy. But uh, let me show you how I'm doing these duration trades. And I know Sam, you're having some issues. Keep in mind, keep in mind that the setup, it doesn't matter what it says up here, right? It could say spy, it could say QQQ, it could say it could say gold, it could say um, bits. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it says, right? It just does not matter what the chart says. It could be Qualcomm, RCL. The thing just kind of I'm just kind of re-emphasizing. It does not matter what the name is. What matters is what's here, right? So if you were to look at this, right, and you were to, let's say right here, right? Let's put that. Let's put it a little into perspective, right? And let's say I do that right there, and it kind of just do this, right? So right here, let me go right. I'm gonna show you this real quick. Kind of just put it into perspective. This is what I mean, right? What matters is this right here. That's what matters, right? Nothing else. The name, it doesn't. Who cares what it says up there? Uh, this right here is what you're gonna look at, right? That's what you're gonna see, and the fact is that the setup is the same. Any stock, anything you do, the setup is going to be the exact same thing. You rinse, you repeat, right? So let me go back to here, right? Spy. I mean, if you can remember Spy, right? When it dropped, and at the time I didn't have the slim ribbons, but not now. It's very easy to see, right? We have a shift of momentum. We have the MACD in our favor. We have direction. Remember what I said about the MACD? This is momentum, and your average or whatever it's called is direction, right? So obviously, momentum and direction are in your favor. Volume flow is outside. Volume flow is in your favor, right? It crosses above the zero, and the best time to buy or the best time to sell, whatever you choose, right? I personally like buying, but I've been getting into selling, and it's a lot less stress. It's a lot less, setting alerts. It's actually not that bad, right? I like it a lot, but the best time to enter, at least with what I do with duration trades, it's gonna be this right here, right? These conditions. So if you remember a couple weeks ago, right, when the market sold off hard on, I don't know if it was a tweet, it was something, right? Something happened here um, on October, the week of October. I have no idea what happened, right? Like, okay, this is kind of topping off, and you can see the MACD against you. This is probably one of the reasons I do not short, because the MACD still favors the bulls, right? Still favors the bulls. It's there's an uptrend, at least a short term uptrend. And I'm long biased until proven otherwise, right? I've always said that. I'm with the short term trend, until proven otherwise, and uh, this has not proven otherwise, right? Yeah, it can top out and pull back, but that's all it is, right? So in this case, right, the moving averages, the slim ribbons, the 8, 13, 21 are stacked, and you get a significant pullback into this area. This is where you start looking long, right? If you go for let's say a reversal trade like I did with Intel, um, this is what happened with Intel, right? We talked about in the past earnings that under 50 this was a strong buy, and sure enough, right, we had this push to the upside. and it didn't quite work out, and you know that's okay, right? It's okay. It pulled back, and then we have price action breaks price action kind of just breaks all the moving averages, and momentum's in your favor, kind of like it did here. Started showing signs of some strength to the upside. uh and if it would have started coming back down, then it's showing weakness to the upside, right? Because it's rejecting. But in this case, right, it starts intra bar, at least here intra-bar. You would see it go above all these moving averages. So you would have made some sort of trade here. Obviously, if it gaps down the next week, you're out, right? It's not gonna work out. Same thing right here. It came back down. The MACD, we have the MACD showing signs of momentum, right? A big shift of momentum to the upside. And here's if I zoom in, just kind of what I like, saying about momentum and direction. The direction's to the upside, right? Even though it's coming down, the direction is to the upside. Um, it pulls back and it starts, everything starts aiming towards the upside. And if I do one of these right here, let me see. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna. Uh, the setup's the same, right? So it starts coming up, right? Everything's in my favor here for the past 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. For the past month, momentum has been in my favor, right? So obviously I did enter an Intel reversal trade on the 4 hour. If I go to the 4 hour, uh, here it is. Here's the signal. Right, here's the signal. Lots of volume, shift of momentum. This thing turns bullish. We have a squeeze. We have the volume flow go up, right? And it just, yeah, it was a slow mover, but it's okay. It's they're not, they're not big trades, but the potential's huge, right? So yes, it did move slow until today, right? And obviously, right here, there's gonna be some profit taking, at least that I expect. So I exited too, right? I made an exit. Um, if we go with a trade like XOM, which was also a reversal trade, if we look at I'm just gonna go with the normal weekly chart I use. Same thing, right? It starts breaking above all these moving averages. And here is when I entered and when I re-entered. Yeah, here's what I mean, right? It pulls back, it goes sideways, it does not come into the zone, right? Momentum shifts back up. If you look at the MACD, you have plenty of time to think. You have multiple days to think here about a trade, and so it's obviously showed weakness to the downside. If I were to mark this right here, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be 4 hour setup, right? And let me go with a slim ribbons to show you, right? And I just don't know why I haven't changed it, right? But here it is, right? Right there. That right there would have been your entry. Um, you could even well, no, I mean you could even gone to the 1 hour, but 4 hours good, right? Here's your entry. Look at what it did, right? Right there. Now it's up here. Space, right? If we look at space on the, I've been in since here, right? I got that long signal. Um, and if you look at the weekly chart right here, if you look at the weekly chart, the conditions are exactly the same, right? There's nothing different, right? The moving averages are stacked, 8, 13, 21. Momentum favors the bulls, right? Direction is still kind of flat, but it's not down. Right there. You see, I mean, now that zooming in, it tells a whole different story. But um, right there, momentum shifts. It comes, it prints this slow. That's why I kind of like the stochastics, right? It's almost like RSI, but I like stochastics way better than RSI. So this, the way I interpret the stochastics, if you choose to use the stochastics, is this is momentum to print a cycle low. This is momentum down, momentum up, right? So the first time it crosses below oversold, that's the that's the strongest move in this direction that that thing's gonna make. So when you see it kind of hanging down for a while, right? Every move down, let's say here, every move down is less and less. The strength of it is less, a lot less. And so we have the strongest move down here, and then weaker. Obviously it can continue weaker, 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 weaker. But same thing to the upside, right? It prints a high, and like I've told other people I've showed this to, um, you can get rid of the K period and just use D, right? And it's gonna be almost identical to RSI, 4 period RSI, and all you do is trade this in the direction of your trade, right? As long as this D is in your favor, the MACD, everything aligns, and we have this setup right here with price action. This is where you look for an entry, intraday. Um, Let me another one, right? Disney. You remember Disney back in October when I took some duration trades with Disney? It's nothing, nothing changed, right? We had this big sell off where we thought, hey man, this thing's done. It's not gonna hold, and then the next week it does this huge move, right? And I exited maybe somewhere here. I think I exited somewhere here. I don't remember if I was in it in December. I got to look at my log, but if you remember when we talked about Ford, same thing, right? Here it is. It makes this big push, and it's kind of just been hanging out here, and then finally it moved up. Obviously, I closed this sometime last year, late last year. Um, because I was running out of time, right? I had it for I think January of this year, and but nothing changes. Nothing changes. If you look at Ford, right here, it made this thing huge move down, and then it just kind of things kind of settled down a bit, and I'm more than certain you're gonna find a good entrance there, right? A good entry right there. So that happens. Here it is, right? Here's your volume. Here's your shift. Everything sets up well. Go. Enter long, right? Um, and that's about it. Let me see another one. XOM. Oh, right here. I'm looking at Beyond, right? On the 4 hour, still kind of not. I wanted to sell some premium. I didn't get a chance. I had. Let me see. I've had this alert somewhere, maybe around here. Uh, I don't know why it's so far up. Like I talked about this morning. I was having issues with my Thinkorswim for some reason. I don't know if this was my entry, but I missed this, right. I posted about taking that position on BYND, and you look at the weekly chart, very very similar, right? Very very similar. This thing's been since what is it, October last year. It's just been down 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 down. So it looks a little exhausted to the downside, right? It looks a little exhausted to the downside. Um, here it tried to kind of recover. We're again, this thing's flat. It's shifting momentum on the 1 week right here, and the stochastics too, right? The stochastics finally came all the way down again to oversold, and it didn't do much, right? It didn't do much. It didn't really make lower lows. So it there's plenty of time to think about this, right? Even next week, I'm pretty sure this thing's gonna offer a good opportunity to go long if you're not already in it. But things like these, right? It's flattening out. It's great to sell some premium, right? That's kind of what I wanted to do on this one. Sell some premium here. But again, the setup, reversal setup, all about momentum. But the best thing to do is when those moving averages are stacked, right? The sooner you can catch it, the better, right? For example, here, if you were to cut it this soon, right? When it's testing these moving averages. Same thing here, right? As soon as this thing starts flattening out, and aiming in your direction, go to the 4 hour. Uh, Airlines, right? Here's airlines. This is American Airlines right here. I did open a duration trade on American Airlines. MACD still favors the bulls. No, I mean not perfect by any means, but it meets criteria, right? It meets criteria. I went about 40 some days out, so more than enough time to just kind of let this play out, see if it starts, see if it starts turning, and that would be a great entry, right? Obviously, if you come to the 4 hour chart, right here, it's not even, it hasn't even plotted a long entry. So I think I think this thing's pretty much good to go unless it completely continues down. Then I'll just exit, no big deal, right? But it's something I'm keeping an eye on. And I mean that ACB, right? ACB. We look at ACB. Here's when I was talking about pot stock some weeks ago, and it also made this long signal. I didn't trade this. There was really uh, no need for me to enter on a gap like this. And today, right? It's been going sideways, like I talked about, and I kind of just I made this entry intraday, but the fact is, right here, the fact is that it had printed this. I saw this kind of right here. It went up last week, and then this week it's kind of it's going up, right? It's showing strength to the upside. If you look at the moving averages, last week was the first bar that they're all stacked, and right now it's just showing strength to the upside. The MACD, everything lined up, pretty well. Look at that. It's showing some expansion. So this is my other duration trade, and unless it completely goes against me, then I'll just exit. But I mean that's about it, right? And again, you just repeat this process over and over. If you don't want to get overwhelmed, what I do is you make a watch list of uh, about 20 companies, 20 highly liquid companies. If you're gonna sell premium, get leaders, whatever it is you want to do, right? I mean, that's gonna be entirely up to you, but that's it. That's kind of what I looked at. Snow. I know we talked about snow today. I really like snow because it meets the criteria, right here. It's another one I wanted to sell some premium, and I didn't. It's okay. I already have other trades, but it meets criteria right there. Um, QCOM, no, it's not QCOM. What was the other one? Was it? It's not AMD. Well, I don't know. I mean, not that it matters, right? Not that it matters because the conditions are the same, right? United Airlines, right here, is what I was talking about. United Airlines. If you look at airlines in general, right? Uh, they're all going this, right? Mark mentioned Jets. Jets looks really strong. If you can see right here, something that I like using is these trend lines, right? Uh, instead of having the fit fans, just kind of do these trend lines for instead of the fans, right? And whenever it breaks above that, that's kind of where I enter. Um, I don't really use it for swing trading. I like momentum for swing trading. I like buying, for example, here, this area right there and below, which today and last week was a good area to look for longs. And I mean that's it. There's really not much to it.